Is the narcissist happier with their new supply? This is a question I hear nearly every single day from survivors. And that's exactly what we're talking about today at queenbeing.com. So let's get started. Closed captioning provided by Athena Moberg and cptsdfoundation.org. My name is Angela Atkinson, and on this channel, I offer free daily video coaching to help you discover, understand, and overcome narcissistic abuse in toxic relationships. I like to call it toxic relationship rehab. So if that sounds good to you, hit that subscribe button and we'll get going. So the question stands. Is the narcissist really happier with the new supply? And if so, why? Really quickly, my general answer for this question is no, the narcissist won't be happier with the new supply. A lot of times we think to ourselves, well, I helped this person become a better person, or they're using all the things I tried to teach them about being in a relationship with this new person, and that's not fair to me. And here's the thing. It isn't fair, but it's also not real. What you're really seeing is the love bombing phase. See, narcissistic abuse goes in cycles. Love bombing, devalue, discard, hoovering, love bombing, devalue, discard, hoovering, where you have the love bombing where they're idealizing you, they're making everything seem amazing, and then they start to think you're human and they start to not like you as much, and eventually they either emotionally or actually discard you in the relationship, and then they try to suck you back in. Many times this cycle goes on for years or even decades, but in any case, when they get with a new supply, they're going to be in the love bombing phase for a while, and then before you know it, you might not see it from the outside, but chances are that the devalue and the discard goes on in their relationship as well. And in reality, even though it might feel like you should be a little jealous of the new supply, the truth is you should probably feel a little bit sorry for him or her. With all of that being said, I'm going to share with you what Lise said when I asked her the same question. Do you think that the narcissist is happier with a new supply? So take a look.
The narcissist is not happy with the new supply. The narcissist is using the new supply. They see people as objects. And so if they have new supply, it's kind of like having a shiny new toy. So it may look like happy, but it's actually just the excitement of having something new. They appear happy because the other person has no idea what's going on. They see them as perfect. They see them as this great person. They are not seeing, they're seeing the mask. The new supply, the person who is the new supply is seeing the mask that the narcissist is wearing. And therefore they're reacting to that as if they're with the greatest person in the world and their soulmate and this perfect individual that came into their life. And what they're not seeing is that this is a narcissist and that they're going to end up being abused. So it's not a matter of the narcissist being happy with the new supply. It's that they're using the new supply and they see the new supply as a new shiny object. Because a narcissist objectifies people and they don't see them as individuals, they see them as possessions, they may appear happy.
And I'm going to share with you something from a previous video. Take a look. One question I hear all the time is, should I tell the new supply? Do I have an ethical obligation to tell the new supply what they're getting themselves into? And unfortunately, unless that person is like your sister or your cousin or your very best friend in the world, you can't tell the new supply. I mean, you can try. But just like I explained to you before, when the narcissist gets with someone else, one of the first things they do is start smearing their ex. And sometimes that isn't even their ex yet, because narcissists like to, hold on to two branches at the same time. But they start smearing the other person that they were involved with, and then the new supply learns to see that person as crazy. That did happen to me with my ex as well. When that's the case and they're still in the love bombing phase, the point at which you could save them, you can't save them because they won't see what you're trying to do. They'll just be only concerned about, I'm in love, everything's awesome, and I'm going to stay right here. You understand? Narcissists have this way of thinking they're the center of everything, and you would think that somebody like that would only be able to have an amazing life where they're happy all the time, right? And sometimes narcissists seem happy all the time to those on the outside. But when their needs aren't being met, when they feel like they're being lumped in with other people and not considered unique and special, extraordinary even, that's when things get bad. If all those conditions are being met, they're perfectly fine. The problem is they have these egos, tiny little fragile egos. I've talked about it before. They're like a little glass egg. They teeter on the end of their finger. Because this little ego is so fragile, it needs to be constantly fed, stroked, constantly built up. But when this doesn't happen, what happens? The narcissist becomes resentful, angry, unhappy with their lives. They find themselves feeling unflattered. They find themselves being criticized. They find themselves being ignored by people who are high in status, or high in status in the narcissist's mind anyway. Someone else is treating them equal to other people. They don't like that. They're not considered the center of attention, or someone doesn't take their advice. Anyone else happens to take the spotlight, or somebody questions a story or laughs at a joke that isn't theirs, or laughs at something that wasn't supposed to be a joke that the narcissist says. Anything like that makes a narcissist unhappy. But why do you think that is? It's because narcissists get all of their happiness from what? External sources. They need flattery. They need to be good looking or rich or accomplished or to have the best possessions in order to get attention, because they cannot self-validate. Ironically enough, they cannot self-validate, and yet they won't validate you ever, anytime, except maybe during love bombing. So if anything happens to a narcissist to make him or her feel less than amazing, the first thing they're going to do is crumble, and the second thing they're going to do is abuse their primary source of supply. Because the narcissist has no concept of inner satisfaction, of being a decent person, of actual compassion for someone else, they can't imagine anyone else has actual compassion for them. They are most focused on being validated externally. They want to have the best looking spouse. They want to have the nicest car in the biggest house in the nicest neighborhood. If any of those things disappears, so does their self-confidence. So does their ability to feel happy. When a narcissist is alone, what do you think happens? They kind of dry up like a little plant that doesn't get any water. They need supply in order to feel like a human. They need the constant stream of attention. And if they don't get it, they feel like they're almost dying. We've talked before about the collapsed narcissist. The collapsed narcissist is a miserable, horrible person. And the reason they're that way is because they usually can't get any supply, or not the same kind of supply that they could get when they were younger and maybe more attractive or wealthier. But yet when the narcissist gets admiration from someone else, if someone says, wow, that's a really nice car, or oh, you're so good looking, or wow, your wife is really hot, or wow, your husband is a real winner, they get instant gratification from that. They instantly feel, oh, I'm all better. But then if they're alone, they fall right down in the hole of misery. And God forbid they come in contact with their personal self, with their own demons. See, the thing is, narcissists, they need everything to be perfect in their lives. They need to feel like they're perfect. But the truth is, this can't be the case. This can't happen. Nobody's perfect. Nothing is perfect. So while the narcissist spends his or her entire lifetime trying to be perfect, it's not a possible thing. It's not a mission they can ever complete. And so they never find true happiness. Even if people who don't know the narcissist would say, gosh, your life is great. I wish I had a life that was that great. It's still never quite enough for the narcissist. They're still always trying to do a little better. That's pretty much why narcissists will never be happy. All right, now this brings me to the question of the day. And the question of the day is, do you think the narcissist is happier with a new supply? Have you struggled with this yourself? Share your thoughts, share your ideas, share your experiences in the comment section below, and let's talk about it. Want to give a quick shout out to my amazing channel members, the people who chose to sponsor my channel here on YouTube through that join button that you see below, or the link you see in the description if the join button isn't visible on your device. These are my inner circle people who get a little extra something, some perks from me, but also who help support this channel and make it better for everyone. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. Thank you so much for being my insiders. My amazing inner circle includes Life's Revival, Black Caesar, Deborah, Roxanne Antle, Susan Marion, and my very first member, Angela Falsetta. Thank you all so much for being such a big, important part of this channel, and thank you for supporting me and my mission to help people discover, understand, and overcome narcissistic abuse and toxic relationships. It means the world to me. Thank you. All right, that's all I've got for you right now. But as always, thank you so much for being a part of my day and a part of my life. And hey, thanks for letting me be a part of yours. It really does mean a lot to me. Now, before I go, make sure you take a look at the videos I'm leaving for you right here and right here. And while you're here, hit that subscribe button right there so we can stay connected and continue on this healing journey together. I'll see you soon.